In the year 2137, humanity had advanced beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Space exploration had reached its pinnacle, with humans spreading across the stars. But even with all their achievements, there was still one mystery that haunted them: the disappearance of the Endurance, a probe sent out to the furthest reaches of the galaxy almost 50 years ago. It was presumed lost, swallowed by the vast emptiness of space. But now, the Endurance was back. A team of elite astronauts aboard the deep space vessel Pioneer had been conducting routine scans on the far side of the Andromeda Galaxy when they picked up an unusual signal. It was faint, a whisper of a transmission, but it was unmistakably human. The signal came from an abandoned section of space, far beyond any charted route. After weeks of travel, the Pioneer finally arrived at the coordinates. There, floating in the cold silence of space, was the Endurance, and it had not come back empty-handed. The crew of the Pioneer docked carefully with the probe, their hearts racing with anticipation. They entered the derelict ship, only to find the interior intact, though cold and abandoned. The Endurance had been silent for decades, yet the power systems were still functional. The crew navigated the darkened corridors to the main control room, where they accessed the data storage. What they found would change the course of human history forever. The data logs told a story that was both astounding and terrifying. The Endurance had journeyed far beyond the known universe. It had encountered alien civilizations, explored planets, and experienced phenomena that no human had ever dreamed of. But it wasn't just the planets and star systems that were noteworthy. It was the data on the beings the probe had encountered. The first shocking revelation was the discovery of a vast interstellar war between two alien species, the Tsurak and the Velker. The Tsurak, a technologically advanced species with psionic abilities, had been the dominant power in their galaxy for eons. However, the Velker, a race of powerful warriors with advanced weaponry, had emerged as a formidable rival. The war had raged for centuries, and it was clear that the Tsurak were losing. The Endurance had managed to observe the final stages of this war, capturing images of entire planets being wiped out in the wake of brutal battles. But what really shocked the Pioneer crew were the implications of these findings. According to the data, the Velker had discovered Earth long before humanity had even thought of reaching the stars. They had been watching, studying, and evaluating humanity's potential for years. The Tsurak, in a desperate attempt to turn the tide of the war, had reached out to Earth. They had sent covert signals to our planet, hoping to recruit humanity's aid against the Velker. Their message was clear: you are stronger than you know. Join us, and we will help you ascend to the stars. The Endurance probe's records revealed that this message had not gone unnoticed. Several covert transmissions had been sent from Earth back to the Tsurak. Humans, not fully aware of what they were agreeing to, had unknowingly started communicating with one of the most powerful races in the galaxy. The Tsurak had begun preparing humanity for the eventual moment when they would be called upon to fight. The crew of the Pioneer stood in stunned silence as the truth unfolded before them. They had always assumed that humanity was a young, insignificant species in the grand scheme of the universe. But now, they learned that humanity was not only being watched, but had already been marked as a potential player in the galaxy's most dangerous conflict. The Tsurak had seen something in humanity: a strength, a resilience, and a fierce will to survive. As the crew sifted through the final records, they discovered the ultimate shock: that Tsurak had predicted that humanity would one day be the key to tipping the balance of the war. They had seen humanity's potential for greatness, not just in technology, but in their ability to adapt, to evolve, and to fight for survival. The Tsurak were not simply offering an alliance, they were preparing humanity to become the galaxy's new force of reckoning. But there was more. The last transmission from the Endurance was a warning. The Velker had found out about the Tsurak's interest in Earth, and they were preparing to invade. The Endurance had intercepted a message from the Velker, detailing their plans to attack Earth and wipe out humanity before they could grow powerful enough to challenge them. The invasion was imminent. The crew of the Pioneer realized that they had just discovered the most dangerous truth of all: humanity's fate was no longer in their own hands. They had been thrust into an interstellar war, one that they had no choice but to fight. The decision was made. Humanity would fight. They would not be passive observers of their own destiny. They would join the Tserak, and together they would face the Velker. The pioneer sent a signal back to Earth, informing the leaders of the threat. A new era was about to begin, one where humanity would rise to become a force, not just among their own species, but in the entire galaxy. As the Endurance's data streamed back to Earth, the message was clear. The Tserak were not the only ones who had underestimated humanity. The Velker had made a grave mistake by underestimating them too. And now, Earth was no longer a forgotten planet on the edge of the universe. It was a power to be reckoned with. Humanity had been chosen, and they would not back down.